You have goals. If you're watching this video, you're someone who knows that you're meant for more. You are most likely highly committed to those goals and even have a plan in place and you're taking action, yet you haven't been able to reach those goals yet. So what's stopping you? What's standing in the way? What's standing in your way might not be exactly what you think it is. When I ask people, what's stopping you from achieving your goals, I often hear a long list of things that in many ways feel practical, they feel reasonable, they feel realistic, and your friends and family will probably agree with you that, yeah, once those things are done or once you get past that, you'll absolutely achieve your goals. So here's some examples of things that I've heard that, again, sound very realistic and practical and reasonable. It's, well, once I get my student loan paid off, or when I have finished this certificate, or I get more experience, when my kids are a little bit older, when I'm no longer caregiving for my elderly parents, when I get that promotion, or when there's a little bit more money in the bank. Does any of that sound familiar? We all have them. We have conditions and circumstances that feel like they're standing in our way. And here's what I know to be true. After a decade of supporting people in reaching their goals, is that on the other side of that condition or circumstance, whatever you think is standing in your way, guess what? There'll be something else. You finally pay off your car and now the house needs repairs. You no longer have to take care of your kids as much. They're in school, but a friend really needs your assistance. There will always be something that comes up that delays us from reaching our goal. But you can overcome any of these, any condition, any situation, any circumstance with this one thing. Hi, I'm Stacey Berger, transformational coach in both life and business. And the one thing that you can do to override any condition, any circumstance, any situation is to make a decision. Now you might be saying to me, Stacey, no, I've decided, I'm doing this thing. I'm decided for it, I'm all in. And yes, I would agree that at some level you probably have made a decision for your vision, but chances are you've hooked it with a but. I'm making this decision, but I have to do this thing first. I have to take care of that. And it's a conditional decision. A mastery decision, a transformational decision requires us to decide for our vision in the absence of knowing how. The type of decision that we're talking about here is not a passive decision. It's a decision followed by action. It's a decision in the absence of knowing how it's all going to work out. It's a decision and followed by action in the direction of your vision, not knowing the whole path. And here's the thing about the word decision. The root word of the word decision really means to cut away from, to leave behind. When we make a decision for our goals, for our vision, for our life, it requires us to leave some things behind. Not everything from your current life is aligned with what you're creating. Sometimes that means that we have to leave behind people, jobs. Oftentimes what it means that we leave behind are old thought patterns, the way that we're used to making decisions, worry, fear, doubt. So as you're thinking about your dream, and what's been standing in the way? What's been your because? I can't now because, or I will when. And as you're thinking about that, consider what would it look like to truly make a decision in this moment for yourself, for your dream, for your goals, for your vision, where you're saying, I'm in. Today's the day I go for my dream. Today's the day I say no to the fear, the doubt, the worry, the conditions, the circumstances, and instead I say yes to what's really important to me. And as you make that decision, know that there's going to be some things that are going to fall away. And as you make that decision, consider what's the action step you can take. How can you move energy on that dream today in spite of the conditions, in spite of the circumstances? Don't let any more time go by before really making that decision. The greatest regret of people on their deathbed is not the things they did, it's the things they didn't do. And the truth is, time is going by. 3 months, 6 months, a year, the time is going by. So now is your time. Make a decision for what's important to you so that you're not getting to the end of life and wondering what if. For some of you, something popped into your head specifically around what you're deciding for. And go ahead, ground that decision by putting it in the comments. I'll hold that for you because I know that there is so much more for you on the other side of that decision. I'm Stacey Berger. Here is to you living a life you love.